The debate over sports betting in South Carolina is heating up. While some say it could be a jackpot for the state, and others warn it could come at a dangerous cost.
The 17th annual Furman Engaged is this Friday with over 800 students presenting, where you can see the best Furman has to offer.
And later in sports, I spoke to one student athlete who's fighting to get back on the tennis court after a great start to the season, only to be sidelined by an injury.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Nightly News. I'm Katelyn Wong. Let's start today off with some breaking news. Students gathered in front of the library to rally in solidarity to defend free speech. Demonstrations sparked by growing concerns over the suppression of student voices drew a crowd determined to make their voices heard. Other topics at the rally included saving our democracy, social justice, and inclusion. This comes on the heels of the April 5th rallies all across the U.S.
In my view, these are quintessentially American values. Yes. Of course, America has never fully lived up to its own values. There's no past golden age for us to go back to. But Donald Trump is waging an all-out assault on American democracy in an effort to maximize his wealth and power, and he must be stopped.
Silence is not neutrality. Silence is surrender. We didn't come to Furman to be quiet. We came here to learn, to lead, and to leave this place better than we found it. We came here to push and not to be pushed out. And look, I know it's exhausting. I know that showing up every day, trying to explain your humanity to people who should already get it, it takes a toll. But if we don't stand for DEI, we stand for exclusion. And if we don't speak up, someone else will rewrite the story without us in it.
The stock markets are sliding, and hard. Stocks are down about 19% since they peaked in February. This is the biggest drop we've seen since early COVID. Investors suspect this is likely due to the recent tariffs imposed by the Trump administration, specifically the 104% tariff on all Chinese goods that was threatened yesterday. While Wall Street takes the hit first, the drop could potentially affect interest rates, the job market, and those of you taking out student loans. We'll keep tracking these numbers and keep you informed on what it means for your wallet. TikTok's fate here in the US is on pause again. President Trump has extended the app's deadline to find a new owner by 75 days. Legal experts report the delay comes as China refused to approve of a deal, reportedly in response to the president's recent 35% tariffs on Chinese goods. Oracle is currently leading a possible deal with Amazon and several other investors in the mix. Right now, TikTok is still online due to President Trump's executive orders. However, it is technically operating against federal law. With new administration this 2025, there have been a lot of changes, including changes to the immigration policy.
One of the policy changes included the elimination of a major program that allowed 30,000 migrants per month from Haiti, Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua to fly into the United States on humanitarian grounds. President Trump has also fired several top immigration court officials, which could have a huge impact. Concerns of the unknown are high with many Furman students, as Furman is home to many international students. Anastasia Savchenko is a sophomore at Furman from Ukraine.
Being able to compete and practice my martial art really helps me cope with the anxiety that I have recently, especially since new administration, because there are rumors, which no one knows if that was true, that my status that the status I'm on here right now, which is temporary protected status, might be revoked very soon, and that will make me illegal. That will make my being here illegal, and that might lead to deportation. But I don't know about it for sure, but it brings me a lot of uncertainty.
Other students are raising their voices in support of the Furman's international students, asking for clarity on the immigration policies. Eva Buchanan is a politics and international affairs and Spanish double major here at Furman.
I feel a lot of emotions, I think, around the ongoing immigration policies and everything. And I think a lot of it is just kind of fear of the unknown. All of the policies and changes have happened really quickly so far, and it's hard to even kind of imagine what will be coming next. And so it's hard for people like me who are studying the policies and trying to keep up with it's hard for us to keep up with it because every single day it feels like there's something new.
It can be difficult to follow along with the new policies when they are constantly changing all the time. It is important to try to stay informed best you can about all the policy changes from this administration so that you do not miss anything important and potentially life-altering for you or someone you know.
Small business owners in South Carolina will feel relief from the bill South Carolina lawmakers just passed. Businesses that sell alcohol after 5 p.m. have experienced extremely high insurance rates because of requirements that force them to keep at least $1 million of liquor liability insurance. Heads up, Paladins, don't go to class this Friday. Furman will not hold regular classes on Friday due to Furman Engaged, the annual campus-wide event that features student research, internships, and creative projects. Classes you normally attend on Friday will meet this Thursday. We have over 900 students participating in over 850 presentations, so there will be lots to see and do all day long. So mark your calendars, no classes Friday, and go check out your peers' work at Furman Engaged. Furman University's Zeta Tau Alpha held their annual Big Man on Campus event this week. I went to this fun event just in case you missed it.
So today we're out here at BMOC. This is Big Man on Campus, and it is a philanthropy event to raise money for our philanthropy, breast cancer education and awareness. Multiple organizations across campus send in a contestant and they compete to see who will be the big man on campus. My favorite part for sure has been just how excited people are getting about it. People are raising a bunch of money, they're getting super involved, and it's been nice to get to know the contestants.
This year, the chapter was able to raise $20,709 with the help of the Zeta Sisters as well as the contestants, including this year's Big Man on Campus, Ben Royce.
Big Man on Campus is a super awesome campaign. Screw breast cancer. I love every single one of the people in this competition. They were all amazing. Everyone did a great job raising money. Being named the BMOC is so amazing. I'm so thankful for all the Zetas. I'm so thankful for my coaches. They were amazing in this process. I'm so appreciative of them. I cannot describe how I feel right now. It's amazing.
All of the contestants truly did a fantastic job, and the chapter of Zeta Tau Alpha is doing amazing things for breast cancer education and awareness. As the Zetas say, let's make 1 in 8, none in 8. The 502s are bringing their sunshine-soaked sound to town this weekend. Known for their high-energy performances, catchy melodies, and feel-good vibes, Furman University's Student Activities Board is hosting the 502s at the Furman Amphitheater this Friday. So if you're looking for a fun night of joy, community, and music that just makes you feel good, the 502s might be your perfect weekend plan. You can get your tickets on the FUSAP Instagram bio. Looking for a night of a lot of laughter and maybe a few tears? Then don't miss Improbable Cause's last show of the semester on April 25th at 7:30 in Burgess Theater. Furman welcomed its future Paladins on Friday at Furman Forward. This event was designed to show students what campus life is all about. Throughout the day, students visited residential spaces, met professors, and got a feel for the tight-knit community here at Furman. From tours and panels to lunches in the dining hall, students get to experience a wide variety of campus activities. And to wrap up the day, students can attend the club involvement fair at the Pala Party. Admitted students can secure their spot in the next class of Furman at the Pala Party as well.
I chose Furman because out of all the places that I toured, I really felt like this was the most like home. I did feel like there was a really good sense of community and that all of the things I wanted to study were offered. And I really liked how they talked about how professors really care about you, because that's always been something that's really important to me. So I look forward to spending the next few years as a Paladin.
For many students, their college decision became clear on Friday, thanks to Furman Forward. Congrats to all the newly admitted students. Some good news this morning, Table Rock State Park is back open. This comes after wildfires have burned thousands of acres across the Carolinas. However, only the Lakeside Trail will be open at this time, as staff check and prepare the other trails. And park officials also say, don't count on Wi-Fi just yet. Soon, you will have a new way to get around Travelers Rest. The Trailside Trolley will be a free ride and travel all over downtown TR, between Trailblazer Park, Main Street, and Poinsett Highway. Owner Chelsea McBride says hopefully the trolley will help connect the community physically, relationally, and economically. The trolley will be open to ride on April 24th. Spring sports are underway and fans might be wanting to place their bets. South Carolina lawmakers are proposing a bill that could soon let that happen. Our Lainey Harness is in the studio to explain. Lainey?
March Madness may be over with the Florida Gators taking home a big win, but NBA Finals are just around the corner and the MLB season is in full swing. And if you're hoping to place a bet on your favorite team, it won't be here in South Carolina.
I would love sports betting to be legal in South Carolina. It's legal back home where I'm from in Tennessee. And if I wanted to bet on Furman right now, I'd have to go all the way to North Carolina to place my bets.
That's because sports betting is still illegal here in South Carolina. However, a new bill in the State House could change that. A big reason for that is because it could bring in a big payday for the state. North Carolina legalized sports betting this time last year and recently reported $78 million in tax revenue from that alone. But not everyone's on board with legalizing it here in South Carolina. Opponents to the bill warned that it could be harmful for the people betting, as they could develop a gambling addiction. According to Time magazine, online sports betting has increased gambling addiction to 1 in 10 college students. But they're not the only ones that online betting is affecting negatively. The athletes being betted on are also suffering.
There's some professional sports betting that obviously people do engage, but there's a lot of college sports betting, and at the end of the day, these are still kids, they're 18 to 22, 18 to 23, and putting that sort of pressure on them is leading to a lot of issues, as we're seeing individuals who they bet on these student athletes who are, just like you and I, college students. There's going to be a lot of pressure put on them that they're not really trained for, prepared for, and especially from the athlete point of view, they don't really have resources right now to say, like, here's how to cope with this sort of thing, or here's what to do when someone's spewing hate threats or death threats, that sort of thing.
South Carolina lawmakers have tried to pass a similar bill back in 2023, but it failed. This bill has received bipartisan support in the State House and is making its way through the House committee.
If passed, South Carolina would join the growing list of states cashing in on sports betting. Speaking of sports, let's hear what the Paladins are up to on the field and on the court with Ella Grogan.
Thanks, Katelyn. The Paladins had a tough week, from injuries to some tight losses, but let's get to some of those scores. Starting with our women's tennis team, they pulled off 2 huge SoCon wins this past week, knocking off Samford and Chattanooga by scores of 5-2 and 6-1. These wins keep the Paladins undefeated in SoCon play and 16-3 on the season. The men's team also traveled to Chattanooga this week to take on the Mocs, but they unfortunately did not see the same results that the women did. They fell by a score of 2-5. This loss is the 3rd conference loss for the Paladins, landing them at 2-3 in conference play and 6-13 overall. Softball was the only team to play at home this week, taking on opponent UNC Greensboro. The series was an ugly one for the Paladins, as the home team lost all 3 games. These losses make the Paladins 3-6 in conference play and 13-25 on the season. Women's lacrosse was back in action this week, traveling to High Point on Friday, where they were defeated by a score of 18-11. The loss puts an end to the Dins' 3-game winning streak and lands them 8-3 on the season. Elijah Poritzky is a standout player and captain for Furman University's men's tennis team, making a big impact on the court and earning multiple Southern Conference Players of the Week. However, a wrist injury has created a slight bump in the road. Grant Robinson had the chance to speak with him about his early season success and how he's preparing to dominate the courts once he returns from injury.
I knew I had this injury during the summer, and it was tough, but I did a lot of rehab. And I was feeling pretty good for the start of the season. My doctor told me that I may have to get surgery, but I might as well play through it.
And that is exactly what Elijah did, starting the 2025 tennis season off strong.
I had some really good success. I beat some really good guys. I beat Clemson's #1, one of the best wins of my college career, beating a ranked guy like that, top 50, and then I ended up getting ranked myself, which is an amazing experience. Played some good doubles, good singles. So, I mean, great start of the season.
Being the competitor he is, Elijah tried to push through, but the pain was too much to take.
I got an MRI and saw that I had tendonitis in my ECU tendon. So I got some cortisone shots and got better. But after the long, hard matches during the middle of the season, it's gotten to a point where it's really bad.
While sidelined from the court, Elijah has embraced his other role.
Even though I'm injured, I'm still doing a lot, coming to practice and motivating the guys. You know, being the captain this year, I feel like it's my responsibility.
As he focuses on his return to play, Elijah has been putting in the work off the court.
I've been working with Furman Rehab, and I've been doing a lot of laser and shockwave therapy on the wrist, as well as for rehab, I've been doing some static stuff and also working on strengthening my wrist.
With the road to recovery nearing its end, Elijah only has one goal in mind.
I really want to be back so I can play the conference tournament. It's really important to me, you know, my senior year to help my team hopefully get to a SoCon championship. It's been my goal for 4 years since I've been here.
After graduation, Elijah's got plans. He hopes to pursue his lifelong dream of playing professional tennis. On the other hand, the Paladin cheerleaders have been busy lately. This past Saturday, they went to the Blue Ridge Battle at Piedmont University. Then on Sunday, they participated in the NCAA Nationals Showcase. This video is from that showcase, but senior Ella Harrison tells us they are not finished yet.
Joanna Lunsford and I are comm studies majors, and this will be our second time traveling to Daytona, and we hope that we can represent Furman and the cheer team well. We are in the intermediate all-girl division, so we'll be competing against 27 different schools, and we've been working really hard this semester to prepare our routine, and we're excited to show everyone.
Ella is coming back from an Achilles injury that kept her off the court during basketball season, telling us she's thrilled to be back on the mat with her team one last time. Good luck, Paladins. Women's tennis will be back in action at home this week, hosting their final SoCon regular season match on Saturday as they take on Wofford at 11. This match will be crucial for the Paladins as the SoCon tournament is right around the corner, and the match holds major seeding implications that could really help out the Dins. Despite their loss last week, the lacrosse team will look to add another win to their record this week as they host Longwood in a big South Conference matchup. The game will take place on Saturday at 2 p.m. in Paladin Stadium. Softball will be back in Pepsi Stadium this week, hosting Chattanooga in a doubleheader on Saturday. The first pitch is at 1 p.m. and game number 2 starts at 3, and then again on Sunday for the third game of the series. That game will be at 1 p.m. as well. There's obviously a lot of huge games coming up this week, and we want to see some improvements from last week. It wasn't an ideal finish, but hopefully we're making up some ground, right?
We are. We're making it. Well, thank you, Ella, for filling in for our sports gentlemen. This is actually our last regular broadcast of the season, but tune in next week for our special edition show. I'm Katelyn Wong, and this is the Nightly News.